Are you always coming up with ideas? Do you marvel at successful business owners? Do you hate being told what to do? Ever take things apart just to see how they work? Are you a dreamer? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, this podcast is for you. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Tapes and Specialties is the world leader in tape manufacturing and specialty conversion with over 40 years of experience. In addition to our pro brand of high-quality specialty adhesive tapes, we provide contract converting services that help improve your profitability, streamline your supply chain, and reduce inventory cost. We offer the most complete range of converting capabilities in the industry, such as cloth tape, double-coated tape, specialty tape, paper tape, masking tape, vinyl tape,
carton sealing tape, adhesive transfer tape, duct tape, foam tape, electrical tape, filament tape, foil tape, reflective tape.
And the tape just keeps on rolling. Visit us online today at www.protapes.com or call us at 800-345-0234. Pro Tapes, it's just how we roll.
Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Entrepreneur Enclave, Life's Coming Attraction. Man, today I am trying to tell you I am amped. Got my brother Arnold on the phone. Arnold Payne, talk to me, brother. How are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, Kev?
Good. So listen, we're going to jump right into it. I know who you are, but I want to start from the beginning. Who is Arnold Payne? How did Arnold Payne and I meet? When did you come to Pitt?
third floor, Lathrop, 1984.
Absolutely. And so you were originally from where?
Philadelphia. I'm from West Philly.
That's all right. So, because I remember going to Pitt, there was a whole large contingency of you guys from Pitt at that time, right?
Yeah, we pretty much had the third floor, man.
Wait. You had the whole third floor was nothing but West Philadelphia? Or Philly?
No, Philly. I mean, it was a lot of guys, man. It was at least, I'd say, out of 60 rooms, I think 40 of the guys was from Philly.
Whoa, that's all right. And I'm so glad you allowed me to be a part of that connection. I'm from Trenton, so Trenton's not that far from Philly, so I guess I was part of the family too. All right. So
you a big part of it.
What brought you to Pitt?
I wanted to get away from home. Wanted to do something related to healthcare. Was fortunate enough to get into the pharmacy program and study. We had a good agreement. You let me study when you wasn't playing your music. I had to throw that in there, right?
Yes, sir. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Oh, man. All right. So I'm understanding that Pitt had a strong pharmaceutical studying program.
Yeah. They did at the time. They were, I think, third or fourth in the nation. For me, it was interesting because myself and another classmate, Carla White, we were the first minority candidates in almost 27 years at the time. And Dr. Renee Frazier, who's no longer with us, she was a counselor that really pushed hard to help us get our applications in order, our paperwork, make sure we had good test scores and things like that. And by the grace of God, I was lucky enough to get into the program.
Let me stop you for a second. I heard 20 years. Wow. What took Pitt so long, man?
There was some funny stuff going on, but there's a lot of history. A good brother at Pitt who also lived on the third floor, a Sigma brother of mine. He pretty much told me that 3 years prior, he had tried to get in and couldn't. So it was some. You had to be out. I shouldn't say it like I'm patting myself too hard on the back, but you couldn't be on the borderline.
Got you.
Couldn't.
Now, so when you say you couldn't be on the borderline, you was a smart student then, brother.
I kind of shy away from the word smart.
Okay.
I actually was a hardworking student. I came to Pitt as what you would call a tweener. I always had a learning disability, but for me, it was like some good friends of mine. One of my classmates, he and I made a pact. We're gonna be the first in, last out, and that's what we did.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I had a learning disability too. I didn't want to learn. No, but I mean, why did you choose pharmacology?
Money.
Okay. Hey, but I'm so glad you thought about that in your freshman year. You wanted to do something that was money.
I ain't never had none, and I got the book one day and saw what they made, and I was like, I can do that. Got you.
But when you were in high school, that was never a thought though, right?
No, absolutely. I hate to be, that was my prime motivator. I knew I couldn't be president.
Okay.
but I felt like if I could get this anatomy and physiology in this pharmacology, I'd make a pretty healthy living. So that was my course.
Got you. Was the coursework hard? Was it tough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I remember studying all night and still getting a D.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now
I had to do it again. I'm not sure if I would do it.
lot of chemistry, right?
Lots.
A lot of chemistry. So my question is, if there's someone out there that wants to not necessarily follow in your pursuit, but they want to major in pharmacology, what would you suggest they start doing now?
Really learning how to study. I think that's a big part of it.
Okay.
It wasn't just the course. I mean, where it was kind of like just understanding contrasts and differences, and really just learning how to memorize and how to study and use all those different tools. You can stare at information all day, but how you compartmentalize it in your brain is a big part of everything that we had to do.
Got you. Now, and I'm going to get this wrong. You said that Pitt was ranked second or third in the country in terms of pharmacology at that time?
Yeah, third or fourth, yeah.
Okay. Where could you have gone different other than Pitt to major in that same program?
I don't know. I probably would have came to Pitt anyway, but I probably would have went into engineering.
Okay. And so you being African-American, did Pitt hold, how do I say it? Was Pitt good for you as an African-American? Did you feel alone? Did you feel supported while you were there?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And just a funny, one of the reasons why I chose Pitt, I mean, it's funny, I wish I could have that application back. That was the only college application that I ever saw that had two black people on the cover.
Wow. Who were the two black people?
No, I didn't know who they were, but
oh, okay.
I remember Howard had they gave us a piece of paper, no pictures, no nothing.
Okay.
All the other ones had buildings, but you went through a different course, obviously. You got recruited and things.
Yeah.
But that Pitt application was kind of dope. They had the black guy on the cathedral lawn with the cardigan sweater on.
All right.
Brother out there. Okay, all right, that's where I want to go.
All right. I don't even remember my application. It probably was like, can you hit this tackling dummy out? I don't know.
Right. That's what I said. I wasn't no high school All-American.
All right. So you're at Pitt now. You're studying. How are you reacting to everybody? How was campus life for you, man? Because campus life for me was a little different.
Man, you were there.
I know, man, but
that's a loaded question. Yeah, no. First, I pride my love of house music to you. For the listeners, for the record, you had the largest speakers on campus. You literally had the largest speakers on campus. There was no denying that. But we had family, man, and in that 6 years, we had a chance to hear great black leaders, great thought minds before they were even who they were. Spike Lee came to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Stokely Carmichael, Dick Gregory.
Yes.
Minister Farrakhan came a couple times.
Yes.
Kwame Ture. It was a lot of good folks. Jesse Jackson came when he was running.
Yes.
So for us being 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, we were blown away and we didn't even know it.
Now, did you feel like you were missing out by not attending HBCU?
No, not at all. I mean, I felt like we had one because the campus was so large.
Yes.
And I believe it was 2,000 or 3,000 of us. And if you check the math on most HBCUs, that's their total enrollment.
Yeah, right.
So we could fill up a student union party on the weekends. We had prime seats at the movie theaters,
yes.
The David Lawrence movie theaters. We definitely had a very active Black Action Society.
Sure.
We owned the quadrangle and all the fraternities and all the sorority stuff. So it was a big family.
Cool. If you had to do it all over again, what would you do different, if anything, man?
One of the things I really probably would have did was pledge. At the time, it was more economic, but there's some good and bad to that. I mean, I still feel like I have love for my whole Pitt family. I got over 600 friends on my Facebook from Pitt. But when I look back and I see the relationships that those guys have maintained over the years, it's a very special bond I wish I could be part of. But I lived with 3 Kappas, so they kind of like my adopted brothers. So to speak.
Got to, right. So you graduate, and what's your first job?
First job out of school, I worked at Washington Hospital Center.
Okay, and you're doing pharmacology then, right?
Yeah, I was doing research pharmacy.
Okay.
Not research pharmacy, excuse me. I was doing inpatient pharmacy at Washington Hospital Center.
And what does that mean? What did that entail?
Basically filling all the prescriptions that's inside of the hospital.
What? Wait, hold up. So a doctor is prescribing medication. It comes across your desk, and you've got to find the right medicine.
Yeah, everybody had different units or whatever, and I was in charge of like I think it was psychiatry. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was a psych unit, but I would have to make sure they had all the IVs and all their carts were filled, the medication carts.
Wow.
Everybody has their own. The nurse pulled it out, and the med was in there.
And I'm going to mess this up. While you're filling out these prescriptions, you had to know which might have been or which medication might have been a contradiction.
Yeah, well, the computer did a lot of that for us, but yeah.
But I mean, but if you still don't know, you just don't know, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So when did you move on after that?
I actually moved, man. I moved a lot, to be honest with you.
Okay.
When I got out of pharmacy school, I worked at Georgetown, but I also had a part-time job working at People's Drug. They're now CVS.
Okay.
So I worked there on the weekends. And again, I guess for me, being a kid of humble beginnings, making money was important. So
Yes.
I just was a workaholic. And I also had another job as a nuclear pharmacist. I would get there over 30 in the morning.
Who pharmacist?
Yeah, so the thing about nuclear, real quick, is that you have to put these medications together the way the doctors want them.
Yes.
And they only last a certain amount of time. So you have to do it very early in the morning or 35 o'clock in the morning so they can be delivered for surgeries that might have to happen at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning. So there's a half-life that's about 3 or 4 hours on them. So you got to get there very early in the morning to do it.
Wow. So I can say Dr. Arnold Payne. Would that be safe to say that?
A lot of times people call pharmacists that anyway. Yeah. So yeah, because my degree is in pharmacy. They had something in later on in life where they call the PharmD, which is a doctorate in pharmacy. We all got grandfathered into that.
My brother, man, Dr. Arnold Payne. That's all right. That's all right. So now, how long were you in the pharmacy industry?
Oh, that's interesting. I eventually evolved into health IT, so I do some things still in the pharmaceutical industry, but it's more along the automation and along the data trending and things like that, infectious disease and stuff like that. But overall, I've been in the industry since 1989, which is about 33 years.
Ooh, that's all right, man. But now my question now, so you're in the industry. Was the industry receptive to a black man at that time?
No. But you know, I had a formula.
Okay.
You know,
what was that formula, Arnold?
Be correct and speak last.
Wait. Be correct and speak last. Tell me about that. Come on.
So, I mean, you know, rather than debate, you know, or get into confrontation sometimes, you know, there's a lot of ideas. I used to pause. When I first got out, I found myself being, you know, conscious of really trying to get the right answer, and so was everybody else.
Yes.
But I would wait to see what the variance is. For example, is the answer 2.5 or is the answer 2? And I would figure it out as 2.51. Okay. And have more specificity towards it, you know.
Got you. So now I'm going to put you on the spot right now. We're going through 2 years of this pandemic. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong?
We're not paying attention to the science.
Okay.
And also we're trying to be scientists. And it's amazing to me how social media has made that possible. Okay. People say, well, I'm doing research. I'm like, no, you're not. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not, you know?
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So now, if you were in charge of the CDC, what would you be having us do different?
I think the CDC and the FDA and NIH, National Institute of Health, World Health Organization, I think they made a big mistake by not giving people knowledge and information that they can digest. Gotcha. I think people think that the pandemic is a game, it's a joke. I think we're getting too much homogenized information. For example, I can break down COVID real quickly.
Yeah.
The common flu, let's put that on a standard of a 1. Okay. In terms of transmissibility. The original alpha variant of COVID would be a 2.5, meaning it was 2.5 times more transmissible than the common flu.
Got you.
And let's put it on a scale of 10. It was 10 times more virulent than the common flu. So it killed people a lot more.
Yes.
Now, fast forward to the Delta variant, that's a 7 to 9.
Okay.
So that's 7 times more transmissible than the common flu. Now, here we are. We're at the Omicron, and Omicron is a 16. Okay. At the height of the COVID transmission, the height of it, we were doing 2,000 new cases a day.
Wow.
Today we're doing 800,000 new cases a day in the United States. Yet you still have people walking around not vaccinated.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's crazy. And just simply putting on the mask first and perhaps getting vaccinated would be second, we would be perhaps out of this.
It's like a flu. Yeah, It's like a flu. If you're vaccinated and boosted, you can catch COVID and you're good.
Gotcha.
If you're not, then you're really sick.
Wow. Man, you know what? I'm going to write in for Dr. Arnold Payne to come on board and get us through this mess, right?
No, man. I'm already busy at my day job.
Wait, man. You're going to win the Nobel Peace Prize once you get us through this, right?
Yeah.
That's all right. So now, we've got you going through the industry. did you see in those 33 years, did you see them start to actively recruit more African Americans?
Yes, without
Okay.
question.
Got you.
Without question.
Got you. And what would you have loved to have seen Pitt do differently in terms of encouraging more minorities to go in this industry?
Not much differently.
Okay. Okay.
They nailed it.
Okay. Okay. Now, were you ever encouraged to come back to West Philadelphia to recruit more students like yourself?
You know what? Through personal relationships.
Okay.
We have a common friend, you and I, Carla. Carla out there. You know, she's down at the University of North Carolina. Her role is dean of minority retention and pharmacy students.
Oh, wait, Carla White?
She's a dean down there. Yeah.
Remind me.
University of North Carolina.
Yeah. Remind me. We're going to get her on the podcast. That's all right, man.
Chapel Hill. Carla went from being on a TV pharmacist. Carla was a TV pharmacist in North Carolina for a minute.
What? Man, that's all right.
She always looked good. So.
Yeah. Hey, not too loud now. Not too loud. Your wife might smack you. She's next to you, right?
She had that look. You know. She was very intelligent. You know, she was really good. She was like my sister the whole time.
Absolutely.
But she's very smart.
Absolutely, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. So, at what point do you say this industry is not for me? Let me try to expand my horizon.
I started doing some different things about about 1995.
Okay.
I got involved with IT and consulting and pharmacy automation and making, healthcare more, I guess, electronic, so to speak. Yeah.
So now when you're doing the consulting, this was your first foray into becoming an entrepreneur, thinking about doing this for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, nobody would hire. I noticed something real quick. Nobody would hire me per se. And I went to work for 2 software companies in a 4-year span and learned everything I possibly could. And I left. And then at that point, I started contracting with hospitals who would do business with those 2 companies.
Gotcha.
And I was their consultant. So that's how I became an independent consultant.
Wow. Now, so we're looking at about 20 years ago, you thought about becoming an entrepreneur. What was that process like? How would you encourage more folks to consider entrepreneurship?
We get paid a lot of money to make other people even more a lot of money. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it a viable opportunity for you to step out on your own? And if it is, you have to at least consider going for it. Because I remember when I thought about doing it, all my friends that worked at the software company, they were like, well, what if it don't work? I said, well, I'm the best they got. I'm going to come back. What you mean? So so at the end of the day, you were a consultant. You just worked for the company.
Got you. Now, I keep hearing the word money. Where did the word passion come from?
I'm passionate. I'm passionate anyway. So money is money. Money is the scoreboard.
Got you. Okay. Oh, I like that.
Like money doesn't drive me.
Yes.
But for me to know that I'm winning, you're the guy in the room making the most money.
I like that, man. I like that. Say that one more time.
I mean, I'm not playing cards with you. We ain't keeping score.
Yeah. I like that. So now let's fast forward. Now, when do we start the latest business, and tell us what that's all about?
So my wife, who's sitting here.
Yeah. Well, let's introduce her first. Let's introduce her.
I was about to get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So my wife, who's sitting here, her name is Kidra Payne. She has been my life source over the last couple of years, business partner.
Awesome.
I met her. She is also an IT consultant in healthcare.
Okay.
And I'll let her say hi and give a little background.
Yeah. Kendra,
Hello,
talk to us.
how are you?
Good. Welcome. Talk to us.
Thank you. So I pretty much started my healthcare IT background, I would say back in 1998.
Okay.
It was my first hospital job.
Okay.
I've done several things over the years. My passion has always been computers.
Yes.
That's going probably like around 2000 is when it was like, oh my God,
Yes.
I can buy a computer, I can afford one. You know what I mean? So I kind of went back to school to, get a computer degree. Healthcare has just been, I would say, is my passion.
Okay.
I don't necessarily like to work with the patients, but I like to fix things.
Got you.
So today, I believe, was it about 3 years ago?
Yes.
Arnold and I, we did our master's in health informatics administration. I work for MedStar Health in the IT department as a manager, and I do a lot of ancillary applications. That's pretty much it for me. My life has not been as exciting as Dr. Arnold Payne.
Well, but
she's really being
low key,
humble.
Yes, sir.
And if I could just give you like a real quick story.
Talk to
she's
me.
right. We did get our master's degree in 2018. We went back to school. We fought, and we're in the same program. And truth be told, she's looking over my shoulder. I'm looking over her shoulder. But that's the wrong answer. No, well, you go ahead, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
You put what you want. So at the end of the day, I think I graduated with like a 3.6. She graduated with a 3.65. She didn't tell me about it. I didn't realize it till the end. You actually got hired me. She said, "Yeah, I know."
Now,
but the funniest thing I really want to share real quick.
Go ahead, man. You got the time.
The day of graduation, they put you in alphabetical order and they call in your program.
Yes.
So I'm A Payne and she's K Payne.
Yes.
So they reading the names off. They call this guy Alex Pagano, and I'm thinking, okay, you next. Arnold Payne, you next. You coming? And they never called my name. They looking down. He don't look like a Kidra. They looking down. They looking over at me. So I'm off stage, and my wife is behind me. We all in cap and gown. She grabbed my hand and said, "Come on, baby, let's go." I said, "You can't do it." They said, "Arnold and Kidra Payne." She took my card. Kevin, she took my card and tore it up.
Wow.
All right. And put both of our names on the same card. So I knew nothing about that. We both walked across the stage. I guess the people in the audience at University of Maryland,
yes,
they realized we were married. We got like a standing ovation. It was pretty funny, but I knew nothing about it.
That's what's up. Good job, Kendra. Good job. Now, personal question. When you met Arnold, was there a prerequisite that he know about house music?
That he knew about house music?
Yeah.
No, he just needed to know that I like house music.
Gotcha. So now, before we jump into the business, so at what point, Kendra, did you tell Arnold about house music or vice versa? Because, Arnold knew something about that, though.
So I am a dancer. I love to dance.
Okay.
We go out to the club, and he sits down and watches me dance all night.
Gotcha.
So the first time we ever went out dancing and house music came on, he knew.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm talking about Jack the Body, house music all night long.
Yeah.
Like she's from Brooklyn, but she lived in Linden for a long time. So
I graduated from Linden High School.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so my last year of high school was in Jersey. So I fell in love with house music.
Fantastic. And I was just there over the summer. I think I might have shared this with you. The mayor of Linden, he had the 6th annual House Festival in October.
Yep.
And I think I told you guys about that, right?
Yes, you did.
And they brought in Louis Vega, and so you always hear about Louis Vega, but you've never seen him. Mm-hmm. So I go, and it's like watching a god play music. You've heard the other great DJs.
Man, bring back the 80s.
Oh,
man.
I'm trying to tell you, Louis Vega, I was like in trance. It was cold, but I was in a trance just dancing. But man.
I would have loved to have been able to attend that.
Man, you know what they say. A family that likes house music, they stay together much longer.
Absolutely.
That's scientific fact, right? That's scientific fact, right?
Yes.
So,
if you don't know, you need to know.
Absolutely.
Just real quick, there's a place in Manhattan called a Shelter. You ever heard of that?
Absolutely. Come on now. Yes.
Okay, that's the one I was trying to tell you. They play music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Wow.
It never stops.
Never stops. Wow. Because I've only been there a couple of times, but I don't even know when we were going. We were just there. Wow.
It's like an odd warehouse on an off street. This is a funny story. We happened to be up there. My wife and I just went for a get out of town trip. We actually was working on homework. We're in Manhattan. We said we just gonna work on our homework. And we're gonna go out to dinner. And I ran into a friend of mine who had took the bus up there, and he's like, man, I've been in here since Friday. It was Sunday. When they opened the door, smoke came out, steam came out. It was crazy. But we looked in there, and it was at least 800 people in there dancing.
Just dancing. Bothering nobody. Wow.
Nope. Just having a good time.
That's all right. House music
and
can do
that
that too.
And that was 2:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah. And you're in New York, so where you going, right? Where you go? You can't go anywhere, right? So,
right.
As a couple, when do you guys decide to start this latest venture? And tell us the name of the venture.
Oh, okay. Wow. Again, being married to a ultra supportive, super supportive wife, I just started spinning wheels. I'm really not that smart. I was looking for a second stream of income, a passive stream of income. And this is probably 6 months before COVID.
Yes.
And it had nothing to do with COVID. A friend of mine was talking about disinfection business where we had a contract with LabCorp and Quest, the laboratories. It was a couple of sites, just go in there and clean them and nice little pocket change, whatever.
Yes.
But then COVID hit, and I remember telling my wife, I said, let's start this business. She was like, sure. We knew nothing about it. So she went and learned all the quality aspects of sanitizing and disinfection as opposed to cleaning.
Yes.
And I really took my time to really try to understand the operation, the business, what we need to do, and really find a good franchiser that will support us.
Okay.
And I think 3 months before COVID, November before COVID, we signed our franchise agreement and formed Integrated Cleaning Solution. And then COVID hit, and by that time we were mastering things like using hospital grade chemicals.
Yes.
We had I had reached out to a lot of the churches, so we had contracts coming in. But my wife, she devised our cleaning strategy, and I'll let her explain that to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So when people say they have like a cleaning company, or you cleaning or you cleaning and disinfecting, because there's a difference.
What's the
you cleaning?
What's the difference? Talk to us. What's the difference?
So when you clean in your house, okay, you spray your Lysol or your disinfectant and then you wipe.
Yes.
The difference in disinfecting, well, not really disinfecting, but sanitizing, is to actually have a dwell time. And believe it or not, when people spray and wipe, they're taking off surface dirt. They're not actually taking off the bacteria and the germs that lie on that surface.
Got you.
So understanding based on the solution that you use, like Lysol, for instance, or bleach. Bleach has a dwell time of maybe less than a minute, where Lysol, you may have a minute and a half of dwell time. Yes. Meaning that's the amount of time it takes to kill the bacteria and germs that sits on a surface.
Yes.
So, when we hire people, it's like, everyone says, oh, I know how to clean. No.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. Yeah. You know how to remove surface dirt. Yes. You don't know how to clean, disinfect, and sanitize at the same time.
Yes.
So a lot of that is, he gets, it's funny when you're a husband-wife operation.
No, I love it though, man. I love it.
Oh, the debates that we have, I have my standard of cleaning and he has his standard of cleaning.
And men can't clean anyway.
I just bought,
He just needs to stay in operation.
Kevin,
Huh?
I bought me some headphones.
Yeah.
And okay, all right, yeah, sure, right. You know, but what you said, yeah, has a lot to do with infectious diseases. So
Yes.
we kind of developed a one pager. We also developed an elevator speech, so like I can talk COVID with most common folks,
Yes.
and also it didn't hurt to have an infectious disease background
Yes.
and really understand aseptic technique. My wife definitely mastered what we call our core 4 process, and it kind of separates us from a lot of other cleaning companies. So I guess in the height of the pandemic, we had about 36 sites. We were very fortunate to get into the church cleaning business, and I felt like the church was an underserved community that we kind of reached out to the churches, not necessarily to make money. We gave them a home team discount, and we met the deacon of the AME church in Maryland district, and this guy has shown us more love than anybody could have possibly imagined. So we have just about every AME church in Maryland, literally.
Now, today.
We drive miles to clean those guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just to go back to the whole cleaning process, most people, they get one rag and they clean their whole house with the same rag.
That might be me.
So only thing you're doing is spreading bacteria and germs.
Got you. But the house smells clean though.
Yeah, it smells good.
Fabuloso.
Yeah, fabuloso. Smells good.
Yeah. And I love that stuff too.
It's crap. Throw it out.
Okay.
So, one of the other things that you have to look at when you're doing cleaning, disinfection, and sanitization is that, one, if you use a cloth on the toilet, just use that cloth on the toilet.
Gotcha.
It's okay to have multiple cloths while you're cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to not use a bucket and a mop to mop your floors.
Yes. Rather,
what we do is we use mop heads.
Gotcha.
And so we'll take a mop head, it's like Velcroed on, and I'm only mopping my bathroom with one particular mop head.
Yes.
When I'm in the spray bottle, and then when I go to mop the kitchen, I'm using a new mop head.
Yes.
Because I don't want the germs from the bathroom, where some people miss the toilet, to spread over in my kitchen. So,
wow.
Everyone says they can clean. Yeah, you might be cleaning surface dirt and spreading germs and bacteria throughout your home.
Yeah.
And we haven't really talked about some of the electronic equipment that we use. So, like, we use an electrostatic fogging device.
Okay.
That is pretty much, it takes a disinfectant and charges the ions, and it's kind of like Lysol on steroids.
Yeah.
So when you've seen the guy with the white suits and the goggles, and they go in and they fog in everything. Well,
yes.
we have that type of device apparatus.
Okay.
We have a small handheld one and we have a larger one. So after we do finish cleaning, like say an organization or a church, we'll fog our way out, which basically leaves them sterile for a 72-hour window, or until they come in and contaminate it again.
Man, I am blown away. So I'm just thinking about how I clean around the house, but then I'm also thinking about, when we go to clean our church, that obviously we're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people don't know how to clean.
Yeah. And and COVID kind of opened the door to a lot of just techniques and stuff.
Yes.
So the first thing I would say is really look at the CDC N list.
Yes.
And you can simply Google that, CDC N list, N as in Nancy.
Gotcha.
On that list, it's like every year they come out with a different list. Now they have the letter N. And that list contains everything that kills COVID and related viruses and bacteria.
And also gives you the dwell time and on those actual chemicals.
Okay. Now, I'm ready. I got one for you guys. You go into an office. Office may be old school. It's got carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you do the disinfecting or sanitizing of the carpet?
We don't.
Yeah, I mean that's something that you walk on. It's not anything that you're touching, like a light switch,
Okay.
A doorknob, a cabinet, a desk, or anything like that. So I mean, disinfecting the carpets is useless because you just step on them, unless you got a baby that's crawling around on your floors. But
but only to the point where just a regular vacuum with a HEPA vac, where you're pouring in antigens and things like that, and you're not shooting them all around the rug,
Gotcha.
but you're actually extracting, right? But after we clean, like I said, after we clean and sanitize the bathroom, stuff like that, every site gets electrostatically fogged.
Gotcha.
So all your porous areas, we're gonna literally leave. It's like, again, think about it. The misting, it's like a Lysol, pretty much, but it's not. It's a quaternary amine that kills all. So when you lean on a wall, I'm gonna fog that wall.
Gotcha.
So when you touch that doorknob, I'm gonna fog that doorknob. I'm gonna fog this whole area. So electrostatically, it stays in the air. It adheres, and it's chemistry basically, and keeps it sanitized.
Now, you've got the franchise. What is your area? Did you have to purchase an area, or it was it was up to your ability and marketing to eke out the area that you wanted to be in?
A little of both.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it would be both. The franchise, they give you and they call you, hey, we got this site by you, yada, yada, yada. But, if you really want to make money in this, you have to understand what marketing looks like for what you want to do. So Arnold is the marketing genius.
Got you. You're not saying that because that's your hubby, are you?
No, I mean, because I don't have the patience that he has to sit and, do all of the research to find out, how do we get a particular number of businesses in a particular zip code where we actually he would get with a company and get an extract of office buildings, doctors' offices, daycares, and things of that nature in a particular zip code that we want.
Got you.
And then we would go and make marketing material and actually mail them out to the site.
Got you. Now,
we might spend $500 and get 2 or 3 sites that might make us about $4,000 or $5,000.
Understood. Now, let me ask this question on the business side.
Mm-hmm.
When you went into the franchise, did you guys put together a business plan? Anyone of you guys? Did you guys put together
Hello?
a business? Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, were you able to put together a business plan? Did you have to put together a business plan? Would you suggest that you put together a business plan?
So to answer that, yes, because you never want the franchise to define your business and your model. But the franchises themselves are a great framework.
Okay.
For example, when we went to the franchise, anybody out of their pocket, I would even suggest a person that, I'm looking for a job. Well, you get somebody to sponsor you, or you come up with $3,500 and you give that to them. You can give them as much as $10,000 if you want, but you give them $3,500 and they're going to give you $3,500 back in monthly business.
Got you.
Now, 2 things happen when that happens. So here you are, you've given them $3,500. You probably spent another $1,000 in equipment, vacuum cleaners, cleaning solutions, and all the rest of the stuff you need. Now you're ready to go, and your first check is going to be $3,500 minus royalties, and that's when you learn the business part.
Now
those royalties
are they due per the site
every month? Yeah, so every month. So a couple things. There's a note attached to it, which is normally about $12,000, but you've given them $35,000. So now you may owe about $9,000. So that note is divided over 3 years.
Okay.
So you're paying them $300 a month for that note, right? to be part of the franchise.
Yes.
And they gave you $3,500 worth of business at 3.3 times that. So now they're looking for their royalties back over 12 months. So the royalties on 12 months of $3,500 worth of business might be another $300 to $400. So now the $3,500 you've made, great, but now you owe them $700.
Got you.
And that gets you started, right?
Yeah.
But depending on your clients, like they gave us a client, for example, who's the largest car dealership in your area?
Well, there's several. There could be it could be BMW, it could be Toyota, or it could be Ford.
Okay. So I asked it the wrong way. So basically, one of our clients they gave us,
yes,
was the largest used car dealership in Maryland.
Gotcha.
So now I get to tell people, oh, I clean them.
Yes.
You see? So your clientele becomes your advantage, your marketing,
yes.
right? So, they gave us large car dealership. They gave us a chain of daycares. They gave us several doctors' offices,
okay,
warehouses. So now, as we're out there marketing, yeah, of course I'm going to mention those names that everybody in Maryland knows.
Absolutely.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Absolutely.
And so it gives us good foundation, and then when we start mailing those, like my wife said, and Kidra said, that $500 to $1,000 worth of mailings out every month. Yeah, we're getting 2 at a time. The phones start ringing off the hook.
Wow.
At that point, and that's when at the height of everything, we had 16 people working for us.
I was going to ask that.
And I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead, Kendra.
I just want to point one thing out. We have the franchise, but because we have our own company,
yes,
in itself, that we have 2 revenue streams. We
yes.
have our revenue stream coming from our franchise, but then we have our revenue coming from our own entity, our own LLC that has nothing to do with the franchise.
Right.
Now, we had to become really creative because of the competing, for the same business.
Yes.
So that's another reason why we went the church route, because the franchise didn't cover churches under the contract.
503B, 503C, I think. Yeah.
Right. So we just became a little more creative with with the business in itself.
No, that's cool, man. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, because our franchise would be like, oh yeah, we heard you guys are cleaning such and such. You want us to do the billing? No, we're good.
No, we good.
I do all of my billing for anything outside of the actual franchise.
Yes.
We do our own billing. We do our own invoicing. We do it all.
Gotcha. Now, here's one for anybody considering starting a business, especially a business and working a full-time job. There's a benefit to not making money, to not drawing money. And you have to, I'm not giving tax advice here, so I would advise everybody to talk to their accountant.
That's a disclaimer. Got you, Arnold.
But we've learned that if somebody were to stop me tomorrow and say, how much do you guys make off your cleaning business? Well, let's see. We pay salaries, we pay expenses, but my income from my business and my wife's income from is pretty much zero. We haven't made a nickel.
Got you.
And because of that, our personal income tax has decreased.
Yes.
Because it's called flow-through taxes. And my accountant quickly pointed out there are ways and means to leverage a home business or a franchise business with your. So there's definitely a positive to that, because everybody always wants to rush and make money and start. I haven't taken a dollar from this cleaning business yet.
Yeah.
In fact, we transfer money into the cleaning business when we get paid.
Got you. So now my other question is, so with your pharmaceutical background, was the franchise using the right equipment, materials, or did you find?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Like everything they use is hospital grade.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely on point when it comes to that. We use a lot of hospital grade chemicals. You can't buy a lot of this stuff in the stores.
Got you.
Pretty expensive. It's good stuff though.
Got you. Now I got a curious question, right? When you see someone that might be deceased or someone that's deceased, could your company clean the after effects of that? Would you consider that?
I didn't quite get that question. Could you repeat it?
Yeah. So someone has been murdered or someone has deceased in their homes.
Oh. Crime scene cleanup.
Yeah. Can you guys do that with your background?
No. You need to be certified in that. But boy, I would love to get into that, man. That's some good money, man. I'm telling you.
Am I hearing that's the next certification, Arnold? Kendra?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That really, in fact, I used to know somebody that did that. It's a lot of certification.
Okay.
OSHA, dealing with chemicals, but you gotta have the stomach for it.
I don't have the stomach for it.
So one of my good friends who I grew up with, he's the environmental services director at Hospital University of Pennsylvania. So
okay.
he used to do that, and I get a lot of advice from him on different things that we're doing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a crystal ball now. Where are we a year from now? Where are we 3 years from now with the business venture? Are we up and down the East Coast? Are we in another state?
It's pretty much maintaining right now.
Okay.
We got it to the point where we are. We're thankful, and we're trying to, I guess, use it as a retirement vehicle. What do you think?
Well, let's not leave out York.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, well, I forgot. Yeah.
So we are expanding to York, PA.
Awesome.
But we will be partners with my son.
Okay.
Totally forgot. Yeah.
Smack him down.
We actually are in the process of signing him into training now.
Okay. Got you.
And York is another territory that we're purchasing out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got the LLC paperwork squared away. But outside of York, I probably don't think we'll go any further. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
If we didn't have full-time jobs,
it'd be a piece of cake.
it would be a piece of cake. But we both have very demanding full-time jobs.
Got you.
That we need to maintain for benefit-wise.
Yeah.
I think in the height of COVID, when nobody was doing anything and everybody was in the house, I think my wife and I literally worked every day.
We worked for a year, like 7 days a week.
Wow.
And so now we're trying to, we've hired additional folks to work for us because it's really hard to work your business and run your business at the same time.
And let folks know there's a difference. Let folks know there's a difference,
Right.
Wow.
So right now we're, we have a young man that's working for us that we're trying to put him in a management position so that we can, step back and grow the York area.
Yes.
And then even step back from that. Just send me information, log on, do your payroll. I'll continue payroll. I'll process taxes. I'll do all that stuff. But, that's where we're at right now. We're trying to, step back and let the business take off from where it's at.
Now, so Arnold and Kidra, first of all, congratulations. I am so proud of you guys. Do you like the fact that it's a husband and wife team? Does that have its benefits?
Days, okay. I ain't gonna lie. We be in here at it. We both have two very different opinions about some things.
Awesome.
But yeah, overall, yes, it's great. It works.
I love it, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it. I'm sticking to it. I love it. It's been nothing but a dream, and I love it.
And
he
Arnold,
has to say that.
Arnold, you're saying, and he's supposed to. You're saying all the right words, Arnold. That's all right. That's
now,
all right.
it's not easy, but it's worth it.
No, yeah. I mean, but you know what? To anybody in our situation,
yes.
Yeah, we definitely have lines of delineation. For example, I don't know a thing about our payroll.
Yes.
I don't go. My people be calling me. Hold on a second. Let me get you, Kidra.
Yes.
I stay out. That's her domain.
Absolutely.
I don't know nothing about quality. So the point I'm making is, although we're two very intelligent people,
yes,
we've learned how to think. We don't think alike. We think together.
Yes.
You know, so things I'm good at, she stays out of. Yes. Things she's good at, I stay out of when it works.
You can do all of the marketing, and I'll do all the HR.
That's fantastic. I'm excited. I've got goosebumps, and I think many more people. And once this podcast goes live, they will hear that, man. So there is a possibility that husband and wife can work together and not be at each other's throat. Okay, good.
Absolutely. Good. It can be done.
Yes.
But it comes with a lot of patience and understanding, and, you know, just like, okay.
I realize that some days I go from being a COO to being an employee.
Got you.
and I explain it to you. So my wife is the CQO, Chief Quality Officer, and she's also head of payroll, right?
Yes.
So if we have an employee call off,
yes,
and we might be in a pinch, we got to go out and now we got to maintain that site.
Absolutely.
So now I'm with the vacuum and the floors and all that. That's all me.
Yes.
But I'm no longer the COO that day.
Absolutely.
So that means when these rugs get done, then the CQO come over.
Yes.
And say, you missed the spot. You're not the COO today. That's when I pull my headphones out. See, when I have my headphones out, I'm an employee. So you have to be able to be fluid, you know?
Absolutely. I love it. I know
it's hard for her. Sometimes I'll be like, babe, you know, we're not going to do that. And she's the CQO, but she's not the COO.
Yeah.
But she goes, oh, okay. Yeah. And in the back of my mind, I'll be like, boy, you better be right.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's a very interesting dynamic. Let's just say that.
I love it. So with the time that we have left, any advice do you want to give to, first of all, a student that wants to do pharmacology, and then for couples that want to be in love, stay in love, and start their own business venture together? What advice would you give to them?
I'll start with the business aspect of it.
Yes.
Communication is key.
Okay.
Defining roles.
Yes.
Is key, because I don't want him in the payroll, because if I paid somebody, I don't need him to come back and pay him again.
Got you.
So you really need to define roles.
Yes.
Even when it comes down to paying the bills for the business, you know, one person should be responsible for paying the bills, not just, hey, I'm going to pay this, hey, I'm going to pay that. You really need to keep really good books.
Got you.
The government is, you know, they're not one to play with.
Absolutely.
And just, you know, like I said, keep the lines of communication open. And when you're discussing the business, your business partners, you're not husband and wife.
Yes.
And just to keep it separate from your marriage.
Got you. I like that. Point well taken.
Yeah. And I think one thing about business, just know the difference between an expense and an asset.
Got you.
And that'll go a long way. And if anybody doesn't understand that, one of the best books that I've ever read in my life on that was called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Absolutely, yeah, I will concur. Yes,
because there's when you're able to do those type of things, you're able to move around like the wealthy do.
Yes.
An expense, you know, hey, you know, you got that business card. It's okay if some of that gas fall into your car every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, because you use that for business too.
Yes.
But pharmacology, anybody interested, what I would say is get a healthy dose and do not run from math and science.
Okay.
It's good. It's your backbone. If you stumbling with it, or you're not sure about math and science, you might want to pick something else, or embrace the fear and go ahead and tackle it every day. Second thing I would also say is find healthy peers. Healthy peers, not people that are going to agree with you, but necessarily people that are going to put you in position to be successful. Whether it be a math teacher, a science teacher, you know, this stuff is hard.
Yeah.
And it does require a time commitment in order to digest the amounts of information that you have to digest to be successful in healthcare.
Yes.
So it's a lot.
And just one more on the business aspect of it. You know, he said find, you know, a peer to work with. But even in the business portion of this, you want to talk to someone who is in the business. And if you're going the franchise route, they're going to show you all the bells and whistles, but they're not going to tell you, you know, some of the downfalls.
Gotcha.
Or some of the challenges that you may run into along the way. So, question, everything.
Thank you. Listen, man, I am so excited. This was really great, and I'm so glad, and I'm so excited about the progression that we all have made. You know, because when I met Arnold, I guess we were like 18, 19, and here we are at this age of wisdom, and we're like, wow, we finally get it. So I am so proud that you guys are that shining example. I just want to thank you. And before we sign off, though, can you give us a contact? If somebody is interested in your business, how should they reach you guys? Give me a website or email address.
Sure. Our website is Integrated Cleaning MD.
Okay. Is that .com or just MD?
.com, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
Integrated Cleaning MD as in Maryland.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. Is there a contact number or none?
443.
374
Yeah.
7391.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. That's
I have a hard time remembering the numbers.
Listen, you got enough on your plate with the payroll. Those are enough numbers for me. Kendra, Arnold, Kendra, you guys have been fantastic. I thank you for allowing me, your host of the Entrepreneur Enclave, just to share your story and hear about your story. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for having us.
You're quite welcome.
That concludes another episode of the Entrepreneurial Enclave with Kevin Wortham, the podcast that focuses on building, maintaining, pivoting, planning, and investing in you, the entrepreneur. We hope you found this episode informative and enlightening. We look forward to you joining us for our next one. Until next time.